Are there?
You guys have just done our presentation, really, if I'm honest. So Yoram Bensvi and myself put a proposal in to support all this brilliance that you guys have got. Yeah. Part of our ethos is around decentralization. And what we know is you can have all the technical brilliance that you want, but if you especially with the way things are going, if you can't support where we are at the moment, which is a centralizing commercial, big global corporate type thing, then a lot of this stuff will die off. So we do it in our day jobs, and we kicked it off over in Catalyst to run a structured, bespoke program to help tool up these brilliant developers so that they get the most leverage they can. I'm going to do a weird thing. If I can just ask Jonathan then to just step in and just get a little overview, 30 seconds overview of the value that he had going through this program in Catalyst, that would be fab. And then Curtis will do a bit at the end. But if I can ask Jonathan to do that, because I know he's got to jump off.
Yeah. Hi, everyone. Thanks. So the sort of launch of this, how it ran, was to take small stake pool operators to evaluate their goals, their purpose, to sort of gauge the value that they have, and then structure a path through to marketing, reaching out to people, who to speak to about what, how to really recognize your value. And this was a guided tour in this instance. And really, the next step is to try and create some AI-driven variant of it that really takes you through that learning process, but can be scaled up to the volume of people that are actually needing it, rather than having to take. And we want little Harry basically in AI, and that will really help us out. So yeah, that was, and I gained great value from it. It's made a massive difference to the thinking around the pool, recognizing the value that's within a stake pool, and the same can be applied to lots of different topics. Just recognizing the value, encapsulating it, and being able to present it is it's a useful skill for everybody. So it's a good application. I've got to jump. Thanks, everyone.
Right. So if that's okay, I'll share again now if I can find the share button. Right. So where we were. Okay. So that's it. So the way we structured it is we run incubators, accelerators, scale-ups, and over what we're doing in Catalyst, we've got 5 or 6 funded proposals that are running through testing this out. So this really, for you guys, the proposition is not an MVP, but it is taking what we know's worked in the outside world and then on chain and then over into AI space. We've made it really small. It's obviously the commercial value is deeply, deeply discounted, and that's irrelevant. But we've made it really small to test it, just to see if we can get some traction to get it into a zone. And as Jonathan said, the end goal is to then build that into an educational platform. But that's a bit more about the other one we've got going. So basically how we run it, it's slated to be run over 10 weeks. The idea is it's supposed to be bespoke, so that we audit the firms that will go on it, and we have a roster. We have a load of elements that we know work really well to grow businesses and get into a funding level. But in that space, the main thing is that this is your brilliance. It's just getting it bespoked and tooled up so that you don't have to worry about the business stuff as much, because you'll have a framework to put it into. And I suppose that's it. And I know it sits in that AI space of what we do is it's complex adaptive systems. And we're really trying to get it to a space where we're building generalized models that are contextual, that can be used then at different levels. So I'm going to zip through in less than 20 seconds what the slides are. So again, the business in there, it's about impact and impact leadership. And it's wicked challenges, exponential opportunities. And again, what have we got in there? There's a tool that we use that helps audit the full value of any organization. And we use this with academic institutions like Imperial College, Cambridge Uni, and big corporates and little tiny firms. The idea is there's a commercial element, but also a cultural element. And cultural element these days is 80% of the asset value, and it doesn't show up when you sell a business. It's not on the balance sheet. And that was Google. They've done it on Google recently. and 30% of Google shows up. The big bit for us then is there's a bit in there around, we know when we take people on a journey and it's a growth journey, there are things in that audit that you look for. And there's a business journey when you spin up a product curve from revenue into systems, into people systems, and then into business and how you fit in your environment. And then you scale up. So that's the investor journey. So that's the business's journey. But at the same time, as you guys may know, there's a journey from being a business founder when it's all your baby to then being a business manager when you've changed your mindset and you're looking at the business from above and you're now trying to bring people in to do all the super smart stuff. Then you become a business leader. And the business manager is about building physical systems. The business leader is about stepping up, hiring a board, putting people in place, doing all the stuff like leadership. Business investor is when you step up again and now you're investing in the business or in other businesses. That's what we take people through, those systems to do that. And the last one then is there is this is design thinking. There's a way of a journey. So where are you? Where do you want to go? How are you going to get there? The most important thing we know, though, it's all about people. It's all about relationships. It's all about communication. Now, that's where people add massive, massive value still. So in that space then, and Nori, I don't know if you know Nori, but Nori sits in the Zen space for this. This is Yorum's space of the leadership of getting you there. So just so you know, in the relationship, what happens is Yoram does all the hard, clever, smart stuff and asks good questions, and I make the tea. And that makes my role a bit more difficult these days because there's a lot of virtual tea that goes on. So that's what we get up to. The last one then is when you do this, you take businesses and teams from startup through using a system with logbooks in it and auditing in it. So you're in control of your business. We did have a video, but it's too long. So pretty much, guys, that's the gig. That's what it's there for. So thank you very much. And if we can ask just in that little bit, if we've got time, so we've done a session with Curtis. So if Curtis could give us a bit of feedback on how he found it, that would be brilliant.
Sure, absolutely. Thanks, Harry. Yeah, so we met with Harry last week on Friday and discussed our plans and our goals with what we want to do. And we took a lot away from it and it impacted our direction that we want to go with it. It informed us and helped us discover what our purpose is and where our impact lies, how we can protect ourselves, and how we can protect customers and the investors and a lot of the things that we put thought to, but didn't have a guidebook or a direction. And so Harry definitely provided a lot of that with us. We're looking forward to continuing some relationships with Harry. Thank you.
And thank you, Curtis. And as I say, that's brilliant. And it's guys like you that's where this adds huge value to. We're working with Swarm. We're taking them through the accelerator program at the moment. And that means this next generation will be better because we've got people like Tevo who can actually use a Miro board properly. So that's it. Any questions? Thank you, Curtis.
Awesome. Thank you for your presentation. And if there's a question, please raise your hand. I think we just have time for one left. But Jan, please.
I always have questions if other people don't, but I always wait politely. Maybe you can elaborate on this a little bit. If I understand it correctly, the first part would be coaching a number of teams, and then the second part would be to make a platform that would require to scale that up. And then the question is, as part of this proposal, how many teams would you be able to coach? And would that be multiple iterations, or would that be just one session with multiple teams? And how would that work in the future if you have that platform? Is that completely self-running, or will there still be a personal element there?
And that's, of course, going to be a brilliant question. But this one's really simple. And thanks for asking that, Jan. This one's really simple. We want to see how we can make it fit, first of all, and get the brilliance out of the teams. So we've tried several variants over with Catalyst and then out with Catalyst. And what we found for this one is it's aimed at teams that are looking to get to that stage of investment. And so we're running it. What we found in this space runs really well is to just have one team with me and Yoram doing 90 minutes a week with them for 10 weeks. They get the program-based learning out of that. It's experiential. They go away and they work on stuff. They bring it back. We go through it. We help them do things like set their products up and check out their market. So there's, as you guys know, there's an MVP around product. There's a minimum viable market. There's a minimum viable community. There's a minimum viable systems. They're all your innovation drivers. So we try and get that sorted. It's bespoke because we audit them at the start. And the idea is then that out of the list of things we know need doing, 2 or 3 or maybe 4 will be priorities, and that's what we focus on. So we've aimed this one at 2 teams, but they're going to be coached separately. So there'll be 2 90-minute sessions me and Yoram will do each week. We will bring other people in as we need to, because obviously there's some technical specialities that will come into this space. This one then runs for 10 weeks, basically. So there's a couple of weeks to set it up, a couple of weeks at the end. That's how it goes. Now, when we've run this, and there's videos up there of the guys we've taken through it. In some instances, like with the One Up, One Down ladies, their mentoring solution has been working with Gimbal Labs. It's pretty much ready to rock. It's got version 2 already in there. So what we've been doing with them is tightening them down on things, but also introducing them to people who are already working in that space in a corporate or whatever that could be their client, but also in the space of they can help them to get investment. So that's how it's structured. Two teams or businesses, they will operate separately. They'll run over the same timescale. We'll take them through it. But you're quite right, Jan. The longer term game here is, and this is a little bit of the other proposal we put in, what we'd love to see, we're investors in Genius U with Edify. And we know you guys work with them on their platform. We'd love to build a little educational platform that one day ends up being AI, and it will always have people in it, but that's the end game. How can we scale it to power it up?
Cool. There was one question and a very long answer.
Apologies.
But thank you so much. It's very interesting. You bring something to the whole ecosystem. Maybe we can also think about train the trainer, that these teams can give their knowledge, passing on.
Yeah, that's what we've done. Yeah.
So there's a lot of things to like there. Thanks a lot.
Sorry it was so long.
No worries. Thank you for your presentation. And you too, feel free to drop your contacts into the chat if you want to be contacted.
Yep.
Great. So